Some people plan their trips around last-minute flight deals or because they saw it on Instagram, and those are all normal reasons to visit a place. But for me, my reason for traveling these days is to find connection with other creative people. I enjoy making photos, and I enjoy traveling solo, but sometimes those experiences feel like I'm missing something. I'm an introvert, and that means people drain my energy. Even people I like drain my energy. But I still want connection. I'm just selective about it. I'm selective about who I spend my social battery with, and I'm selective about how I share creative space with others. A few years ago, I started taking solo trips with two goals in mind: make photos and connect with other creative people without burning out my social battery. Today, it's one of the most fulfilling things I do for myself each year. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly how I plan my photography-focused solo vacations, from how I pick where and when to go, how I find people to connect with, what I pack, and how to let go of planning everything down to the minute. Let's dive in. Now, this isn't a video about how to plan a trip to take better photos. I'm not going to walk you through how to use Google Maps, Pinterest, Milanote, or Instagram to find the most photogenic streets or hidden gems. This video is about how to plan a photo trip to connect with a new place and new people. So much of photography and connection is through our phones, and it can be incredibly limiting. So to start, I choose an anchor event, something obviously photo related. It can be a photography festival, a zine fair, a book launch, even a workshop. In Toronto, in May of every year, there is a photography festival called Contact. They host photography related events all throughout the city for an entire month. If you like photography and you've always wanted to visit Toronto, this is the event that you're going to want to plan around. Many cities around the world host street photography festivals. Montreal is hosting one in September, and Lisbon is hosting one in October. It's a perfect anchor event for your next vacation. I knew I always wanted to photograph the Lofoten Islands, but I was nervous about driving there by myself. So I found a day tour that was led by a guide who was a photographer and tailored the day tour specifically to photographers. They had limited spots, so I had to choose a date that they offered, and I would just plan my trip around that event. That anchor helps pick a city and a date, and it's the jumping off point for the rest of your trip. Next, I'll search for a photography event happening that week. I'll check local galleries or use Eventbrite or Meetup or Instagram to find creative meetups. And remember not to overbook yourself. Just plan 1 or 2 events per city, and after that you may want to venture by yourself or relax. After all, it's a vacation. That mix of structured and spontaneous is where the magic happens. Making photos is obviously the focus of any vacation, for me at least. But the moments I remember and cherish the most are the ones where I connected with other creative people. You don't need to travel with anyone to feel connected. I travel solo most times, and sometimes a coffee or a short walk with another person is enough. I know reaching out to random creative strangers can feel awkward, so you need to lay the foundation before you even go on this trip. So one of the things is having some kind of online presence that is easy to access and observe. Whether it's your Instagram page or a portfolio, you need to share your work consistently. Keep a creative presence online, not for performance, but for connection. Comment on posts, offer encouragement. Stay curious, not transactional. And when it feels right, message someone that you connect with and say, hey, there's this photography exhibit happening in this city. I'll be there on January 5th. Would you be interested in going with me if you're free? And it's easier to have a location, a date, and an easy way for them to say yes or no. Be respectful, trust your instincts, and don't take it personally if they say no. Yes.
It is.
Do you know when we're getting off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like you're getting off now.
Let's talk about gear. Every year I tweak my setup. Last year I brought with me 2 cameras. one for stills and one for video. And that's because I just hate changing lenses, and dusting sensors on the road is a pain. But this setup isn't essential. I have filmed entire videos on my phone. I've done trips with just one camera and one lens. And here's the truth, the less gear you carry, the happier you'll be. Say it with me. The less gear I carry, the happier I'll be. Keep it simple. Let the constraints do the work. Even the best camera won't save you from a museum that's closed on Tuesdays. Research the basics. Opening hours, local holidays, transit strikes, what needs tickets in advance. If that sounds overwhelming, consider taking a photocentric tour where a lot of things are laid out and planned for you. There are lots of photographers who host workshops that take you to the most scenic places without you having to think about it. They do tend to be a lot pricier, and you're stuck with a group of people that you don't know for about 5 to 7 nights. And for someone like me, that's really hard to commit to. On TripAdvisor, just search photography workshop or photography day tour, and you'll find that you'll gain access, guidance, and you might meet some other creative people on those tours. I personally prefer to do my own research and find my way through a city with local public transit. Instead of souvenirs, one of my favorite ways to bring back a tangible memory of visiting a place or meeting somebody is by trading prints and zines. When I visited Amsterdam, my friend Swen gave me a magazine where his work was published. My friend Antonio gave me business cards with his photos on them. And on my birthday, my photography friends gave me prints that reminded them of me. Ask a fellow photographer if they'd like to swap something. It's a small, meaningful way to say thank you, and it keeps the connection going after the trip ends. Not every trip has to end with a portfolio or a zine or a print series. I've had trips with bad weather, low energy. Sometimes nothing I shot felt good. Instead of chasing the shot, I set out to learn one thing about myself each trip. How do I see differently? What slowed me down? What surprised me about this trip? Reflection is just as important as making photos. A photography trip doesn't have to be a luxury escape. It can be 2 weeks in Europe, or a weekend in the next town over, or a quiet morning walk in your neighborhood. What matters is that it's intentional, that you make photos, that you connect with someone, even if it's just one person. If this helped you think differently about planning your solo photo trip, let me know in the comments. And if you've got your own travel rituals or a story of a meetup that probably didn't go as planned, also let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!